You think you know what discipline is? Most people assume it's about waking up early, hitting the gym, sticking to routines, or posting motivational quotes online. That's good, but it's not real discipline. Real discipline is quiet, invisible, and often lonely. It's when someone keeps showing up, doing what needs to be done even when no one's watching. No one's cheering and no one even cares. It's when you don't wait for motivation or energy. You act because it's part of who you are. Psychologists say our brains crave dopamine, the chemical that gives us excitement and reward. But truly, disciplined people have trained their brains to move without needing that dopamine hit. They act without hype, without music, without applause. Their discipline isn't emotional, it's mechanical. They don't think, they just do. It's the kind of self-control that doesn't shout for attention, but builds power in silence. That's when real discipline begins, when motivation dies and consistency takes over. The strongest minds understand that discipline is not about forcing yourself. For a day, it's about mastering delayed gratification over time. In behavioral psychology, studies show that people who can resist short-term comfort for long-term progress tend to be more successful and emotionally stable. They've learned the art of saying, "Not now, later," and that simple phrase changes everything. They delay pleasure not because they hate it, but because they know the reward will be greater when earned through patience. This kind of mindset doesn't just build success, it builds character. When you choose progress over pleasure, you stop being controlled by impulses and start controlling your own life. You no longer chase feelings. You chase growth. Every no to a temporary distraction becomes a yes to a stronger version of yourself. That's real power, quiet, grounded, and unshakable. The most disciplined people don't rely on emotions. They rely on systems. They don't wake up and ask, "Do I feel like doing this today?" They follow their systems regardless of mood or circumstance. They've built habits that run on autopilot, known as automaticity, where effort turns into instinct. While others are searching for motivation, they're already halfway through the work. Their routines are wired into their identity, and that's what separates them from the rest. It's not passion that keeps them going, it's structure. They design their days to remove excuses and reduce decision fatigue, allowing discipline to flow naturally. They know that feelings are temporary, but systems are reliable. When you no longer depend on hype, you become unstoppable. Discipline, in its purest form, isn't about control. It's about freedom. The freedom to act without hesitation, to move forward no matter what, and to trust yourself when the world stays silent. Truly disciplined. People don't waste time asking themselves if they feel like doing something. They remove that question entirely. Psychologists call this mindset an implementation, intention, a mental framework where decision turns into habit and hesitation is eliminated. It's not about asking, "Should I do it?" It's about knowing, "It's time, so I do it." No argument, no delay, no excuses. They've replaced emotion with structure and turned decision-making into automatic action. This is how ordinary effort transforms into unstoppable momentum. They understand that the brain thrives on routine, so they lock in a fixed plan that makes execution effortless. They no longer depend on bursts of inspiration. They rely on built systems. That's why their discipline feels unbreakable. It's not forced anymore. It's wired into their identity. Each repetition strengthens the connection between thought and action until motion becomes natural and resistance fades away. This is the level where true consistency is born, where doing the work becomes as normal as breathing. The most disciplined individuals rarely talk about their process because they don't need validation. They stay silent, but their results make all the noise. You won't see them bragging online about how hard they're working because they understand a deep psychological truth. When you talk too much about your goals, your brain releases dopamine that makes you feel like you've already accomplished them. So instead of seeking premature satisfaction, they stay focused on real progress. They let their silence build their strength, and their results become their proof. They don't announce, they execute. And while others are busy showing effort, they're busy building empires quietly. Their calm persistence confuses people because success seems effortless when viewed from the outside. But behind that calm is years of quiet repetition, sacrifice, and delayed gratification. That's the invisible grind most people never see but always admire once it's done. The scariest level of discipline isn't about controlling your time. It's about mastering your own mind. When you can keep moving forward even on the days you feel broken, unmotivated, or lost, you've reached a place most people never will. This isn't discipline for show. It's discipline as identity. It's no longer something you do. It's who you are. When motivation dies, discipline remains as your core engine. And if these words resonate, it's not by accident. It means there's a version of you ready to take control, to stop chasing hype and start building greatness quietly. Because the strongest form of power doesn't announce itself. It acts in silence and speaks through results. Transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens through daily choices that no one sees but everyone eventually feels. Stay focused. Stay dangerous. Remember, real discipline doesn't talk. It simply shows up. Every single day without applause, without emotion, and without fail.